Memories. The house was old. It looked like a time capsule for the 50s. It always had, even when the three of them were kids. Lawrence Maybird was now 20 years old, standing in the house he and both of his siblings were born in. He hadn't been there since Michelle had been taken away. You see, Michelle was his sister. The middle child, she was treated differently by their mother. Being the children of the community drunk was hard, but being the only girl, Michelle had to take care of her brothers at the ripe age of 7. Lawrence was only young at the time, but he had vague memories of the time. The house was just as dusty then as it was now. It still held evidence of those days. The carpet was worn where their older brother, Jonathan, would pace at night, waiting for their mother's return from the bar. Cabinets empty and hardly touched, never filled due to her drinking the grocery money away. He remembered being made fun of in school for how skinny he was. Lawrence couldn't help that. It wasn't long until those kids stopped showing up to class, though he wouldn't understand why until years later. As he looked around at the old place, the walls were still filled with holes, now clogged with cobwebs, all from when Lawrence's father had come to take him when he was 10. They had a normal day. Michelle had turned 17 that week, so they had gone out to do something nice for once. But when Lawrence had run to the door to get inside for bed, he had been grabbed. His father wasn't kind. He always knew that. It was what happened afterwards he'd never forget. The flashing lights of the police cars, the sound of low voices asking questions he'd likely never know the answer to, and the stains. As he looked at the front windows now, the once red handprints had turned brown due to age. The more he thought about it, the more he realized what happened at the time. When Jonathan told him that Michelle would take care of things, as a kid, he never really believed that. After all, she only had 7 years on him. But looking at the old crime scene that pulled their religious community apart, that sent him away from his siblings, Lawrence Maybird learned, for the second time in his life, that his sister would do anything for him. All it took was witnessing the slaughter of his parents to learn what happened the first time.